This is Coffee with God, and I am Father Jose. Let us begin this day with the Word of God and a short reflection.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John, chapter 20, verses 1 to 2 and 11 to 18. The passage is taken from the Message version of the Bible. Early in the morning, on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb and saw that the stone was moved away from the entrance. She ran at once to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one Jesus loved, gasping for breath. "They took the Master from the tomb. We don't know where they have put him." But Mary stood outside the tomb weeping. As she wept, she knelt to look into the tomb and saw two angels sitting there, dressed in white, one at the head, the other at the foot of where Jesus' body had been laid. They said to her, "Woman, why do you weep?" "They took my Master," she said, "and I don't know where they put him." After she said this, she turned away and saw Jesus standing there, but she didn't recognize him. Jesus spoke to her, "Woman, why do you weep? Who are you looking for?" She, thinking that he was the gardener, said, "Sir, if you took him, tell me where you put him, so I can care for him." Jesus said, "Mary." Turning to face him, she said in Hebrew, "Rabboni," meaning teacher. Jesus said, "Don't cling to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go to my brothers and tell them, I ascend to my Father and your Father, my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went, telling the news to the disciples, "I saw the Master." And she told them everything he said to her. The Gospel of the Lord.
Saint Mary Magdalene, Apostle of the Apostles. Today the Church celebrates the feast of the first witness to the risen Lord, Saint Mary Magdalene. She is the only woman disciple of Jesus named by all four evangelists. A witness to Jesus' crucifixion, death, burial, and resurrection. She was also the first person to see the open tomb. The Lord chose her to be the first messenger of the resurrection to the other apostles, earning her the title Apostle of the Apostles. The first words of Jesus recorded in the Gospel of John are a question that Jesus asked the two disciples of John the Baptist. "What are you looking for?" Everything Jesus teaches and does later in John's Gospel answer that question. We are looking for the way, the truth, the life, and the bread from heaven that satisfies our hunger. At the end of the Gospel, as we read in today's passage, this question is repeated. In accordance with Jewish custom, Mary Magdalene goes to anoint Jesus' body on Easter Sunday morning. However, she discovers him walking in the garden, although she doesn't recognize him. Jesus turns to her and, repeating the question with which he began his ministry, asks her, "What are you looking for?" Mary's reply expresses her anguish for her beloved. It is usually in the garden where lovers meet. Jesus responds with love, calling her by name, "Mary," and she falls at his feet. That is the essence of the whole Gospel. What are we ultimately looking for? The desire and love that drives us into the garden is to hear God pronounce our names in love, to hear God lovingly call us by our name. The following poem by renowned theologian Father Ron Rolheiser about the encounter of Mary Magdalene and Jesus in the garden. I never suspected resurrection to be so painful, to leave me weeping with joy to have met you, alive and smiling, outside an empty tomb. With regret, not because I've lost you, but because I've lost you in how I had you. In understandable, touchable, kissable, clingable flesh, not as fully Lord, but as a graspably human. I want to cling, despite your protest, cling to your body, cling to your and my clingable humanity, cling to what we had, our past. But I know that if I cling, you cannot ascend, and I will be left clinging to your former self, unable to receive your present spirit.